Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to unpack the latest research, the things you really need to know about.
And today, we've got something pretty significant, a Stanford study that's, it's making waves in how we think about AI and work.
Absolutely. We're talking about this huge shift AI is bringing. I mean, it's everywhere already, isn't it? But there's been this nagging question.
Right. What do workers actually want from AI, versus what the tech can currently do? Do those things even line up?
Exactly. And this Stanford study, it dives right into that gap, that blind spot.
And the headline finding is pretty eye-opening.
It really is. Get this. 41% of AI implementation is either unwanted or technically not possible. Just let that sink in.
Wow. 41%.
Yeah. It basically means a huge chunk of AI startups, maybe almost half, are working on stuff people don't want, or stuff AI just isn't ready for yet.
That's a major disconnect, a massive waste of resources, potentially.
Totally. So that's our mission today. We're going to break down this study, really get into the details.
Understand what workers want, what AI can do, and what this all means for, the future of work, innovation, everything.
And this wasn't some lightweight survey either. This was proper research from Stanford's Institute for Human-Centered AI, AGI, and the Digital Economy Lab.
They had a really robust approach, multifaceted.
Definitely. First, they surveyed, 1,500 U.S. workers across loads of different jobs, like 104 occupations.
Right, trying to pin down where people actually want automation and where they're pushing back.
Then they talked to the tech side, interviewed 52 AI experts, the folks actually building these systems, to get a handle on what AI can realistically do right now.
And the task selection process was incredibly detailed.
Oh yeah. They started with over 2,000 tasks, things people do regularly, stuff that could be digitized.
And they narrowed it down, deduplicated, ended up with about 844 core tasks to evaluate. Very thorough.
And the scoring. Workers rated automation desire on a 5-point scale. They considered practical stuff, but also like emotional factors, job satisfaction, risk of unemployment.
And the AI experts did the same for capability, right? H1, fully automatic, down to H5, totally human dependent.
Exactly. And I thought this was smart. They used voice interviews. So people were recalling actual work situations, not just ticking boxes, made it more real.
Grounded responses, yeah, less superficial. The whole goal was finding opportunities for AI that actually centers on human needs.
Okay, so let's dig in.
Right, and that method, getting both sides, the workers and the developers, that's what makes this so valuable. It's not just about can we build it, but should we and will people use it?
Which brings us straight to what people want, and the concerns are, they're pretty telling.
Yeah, trust is a big one. Almost half, 45%, worried about AI accuracy and reliability.
It's huge. It's not just, will I lose my job? It's,
yeah.
Can I even trust this thing to work right? Fundamental confidence.
And job loss was still a concern, about 23%. Plus, worries about AI running wild without human oversight. People want to stay in the loop.
Makes sense. And they were particularly hesitant about AI doing creative work or handling external communication, talking to clients or vendors.
Those areas need nuance, relationship building, things humans are good at.
But they weren't anti-automation across the board. Far from it. They were really clear about where AI could help.
Oh yeah. What stood out?
Well, almost 70%, 69.4%, wanted AI to free them up for higher value work. Strategic thinking, more human interaction, stuff AI can't do easily.
Getting rid of the grunt work.
Exactly. Reducing repetition, that was nearly 47%. Improving quality, also around 47%.
So things like scheduling appointments, that kind of admin.
Precisely. Scheduling client appointments, maintaining information files, correcting errors in records like payroll. Concrete stuff where AI can be a genuine help.
So it really sounds like augmentation, not replacement. That's the preference.
That's exactly what Eric Brynjolfsson, one of the researchers, said. He framed it as AI playing a supportive role, relieving workers of tedious tasks, not displacing them.
Which, if you're designing AI, points you towards building tools, right? Tools that collaborate, rather than aiming for full autonomy everywhere.
And that desire for collaboration, it ties right back to the concerns about trust and oversight. People want agency.
They want to be in control, even if a task is automated. It's about responsibility, accountability.
Makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, knowing what people want and what AI can do, the researchers then mapped it all out. Which brings us to the gaps.
Yeah, they're revealing the gaps part. They identified these 4 zones based on desire versus capability.
Okay, let's lay them out. First, the green light zone. High desire from workers, high capability from AI. Good to go. About 29% of startup effort is here.
Okay, makes sense. What's next?
Then the red light zone. This is where AI can do the job, but workers have low desire for it. Interestingly, 21% of startup effort lands here.
Capable but unwanted. That's a potential conflict zone.
Definitely. Third is the R&D opportunity zone. Workers want the automation near high desire, but AI capability is still low. This is where innovation is needed, and it's got 30% of startup effort.
So high demand, low supply on the tech side, big opportunity for breakthroughs.
And finally, the low priority zone. Low desire and low capability. You'd think nobody would focus here, but 20% of startup effort is still in this zone.
20%, wow. So low desire, low capability, but still getting a fifth of the effort.
Exactly. And when you add up the red light zone, unwanted, and the low priority zone, unwanted and not capable, that's where the 41% mismatch comes from. A huge chunk of AI work is potentially misaligned with worker needs or technical reality.
That 41%, it really represents a huge potential inefficiency in the whole AI ecosystem, doesn't it? All that brain power, all that investment, maybe not hitting the most impactful targets.
It seems so. Bryn Johnson basically called for shifting focus, saying we need to intensify research in that R&D opportunity zone, aligning AI development with those high-impact, high-desire areas.
Which is critical if we want AI to deliver real societal benefits, not just cool tech demos. And it's pretty clever how they use AI itself, GPT, to crawl and classify all those Y Combinator projects to see where the effort was actually going.
Using AI to understand AI trends. Very meta. Okay, so let's dive into the zones with some concrete examples. Let's start with the green light zone, high desire, high capability.
Right, these are the tasks where AI can step in now and people would generally welcome it, often about reducing tedious work.
Like visitor-client appointment scheduling. Workers rated this a perfect 5 out of 5 for desire. We all know scheduling can be a pain, especially complex systems.
And current AI, like large language models hooked up to calendar APIs, they can handle this pretty well. A one-step solution is feasible.
But you pointed out something deeper earlier.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. The report hints that while automating scheduling is great for efficiency, the real problem might be lack of access. Like if you need a doctor and the wait is 2 months.
A slicker scheduling app doesn't create more doctors.
Exactly. So the green light task might just be masking a bigger systemic issue that technology alone can't fix. It might point towards needing more supply, which has its own economic complexities.
That's a really important layer. Okay, another green light example. Correcting payroll records. Desire was high, 4.6 out of 5.
And understandably so. Payroll is complex, mistakes happen, and it causes stress for everyone. Getting paid correctly and on time matters.
Right. And AI is actually quite mature here. Reading errors, calculating differences, updating forms, working with spreadsheets. It's good at that structured data stuff.
Apparently, rule-based systems can handle something like 92% of payroll disputes with really high accuracy, like 98.7%.
That's impressive. Think of the time savings for HR and finance departments. The report mentioned up to 80% time saved on compliance audits.
Huge. And it reduces risk for the company, fewer disputes. It builds trust when systems are accurate. So again, these green light tasks offer real value, but we should also ask if they point to deeper needs.
Good point. Are we just automating the pain point, or can we address the root cause? Okay, let's shift gears to the R&D opportunity zone. High desire, low capability, where the hard innovation needs to happen.
Yeah, this is where the current tech hits its limits. These tasks often involve complex reasoning, handling messy data, or needing a level of interpretation AI just doesn't have yet.
Like multimodal analysis for medical imaging diagnosis. Doctors and patients definitely want better, faster diagnosis, especially for rare diseases.
But current AI models struggle. Maybe only 62% accuracy for some rare conditions, because they need to integrate images with genetic data, clinical notes. It's complex.
The opportunity, though, is huge. They mentioned federated learning, securely combining data across hospitals, could potentially boost accuracy way up, maybe to 89%.
That's the potential R&D payoff. Synthesizing diverse data to exceed human capabilities in specific diagnostic tasks. But of course, you have major ethical and privacy hurdles to clear.
Another one in this zone, quarterly budget consolidation. Finance teams would love to automate this, I'm sure. High desire.
The current LLMs aren't quite there. They struggle connecting data across different tables, verifying permissions securely, and explaining the why behind the numbers, which is crucial for finance. It's not just adding things up.
Right, it needs business logic, approvals, interpretability. AI can't really do that end-to-end yet.
Other examples mentioned were things like personalized learning paths in education. AI struggles to adapt dynamically and generating complex maintenance schedules for industrial equipment, where sensor data is often too noisy for reliable AI predictions right now. High stakes in those areas.
Okay, so lots of potential, but significant technical hurdles. Now for the tricky one, the red light zone. AI can do it, but workers are saying, no thank you. High capability, low desire.
This is where technology runs up against human values, preferences, and fears, especially around creativity and empathy.
Top of the list, creative content writing. We know LLMs can generate text pretty slowly now, high capability.
But worker desire, only 1.6 out of 5, really low.
Why? Well, 72% of editors surveyed felt AI lacks depth, and over 60% feared their own value being diminished, basically job security concerns.
It taps into that human desire for creative ownership, right? The fear of content becoming commoditized, losing its soul, efficiency versus authenticity.
It's a real tension. Similar story with customer service chatbots.
AI like GPT-4 can handle a lot of routine queries, maybe 85%, pretty accurately.
But workers worry. 40% feel AI lacks empathy, and about a third worry about customer satisfaction dropping. And again, the underlying fear of job displacement.
And their preference is clear. They lean towards human-led systems with AI assisting each 4, not the fully machine-led each 1 approach. Many businesses are pushing for efficiency.
It really flags the question, can AI truly replace human empathy in complex problem solving in customer interactions? Maybe for the simple stuff, but not the tricky situations.
It seems not, or at least people don't want it to. It becomes a trade-off between cost savings for the business and the quality of the interaction for the customer, plus job security for the worker.
Okay, one more zone. The low priority zone. Low desire and low capability. The double whammy.
Yet somehow, 20% of the startup effort they tracked is focused here, which is perplexing.
It really is. Yeah. Examples include things like interpreting engineering blueprints. Desire is low, 1.755. And AI still struggles with the complex multimodal understanding needed.
Right. 3D spatial reasoning from 2D diagrams is hard for current AI.
Or tracking luggage location. Surprisingly low desire, 1.55. Maybe because people see it as the airline's job. And AI struggles anyway because it needs to coordinate across so many different disconnected systems.
Real-world complexity, messy data, lack of standardization. AI isn't great at that yet.
Then there are really sensitive areas, like emotional support dialogue for psychologists.
Yeah, capability is low GPT-4. Empathy accuracy is apparently only around 53%, and it misses nonverbal cues.
And the concerns are massive. 82% of psychologists worried about privacy leaks, lack of legal responsibility.
This hits right at the core of human vulnerability and trust. The ethical and legal frameworks just aren't there, even if the tech improved. The human connection is so central to therapy, you can't just automate that.
Absolutely not. Another is complex case strategy for lawyers. AI can retrieve information, sure.
But formulating strategy. Existing legal AI is limited, struggles with conflicting jurisdictions, and lawyers, overwhelmingly 91%, see AI as a research tool, not a decision maker.
It needs that human judgment, the nuanced interpretation.
Exactly. It's like AI can follow instructions but get stuck easily. It needs that human chain of thought to guide it, correct it.
Even graphic design creativity, desire low, 1.715. AI, like Midjourney, can generate images.
But with limitations, right? Customization, copyright issues, lack of real cultural depth or brand understanding. Designers see it as a tool for generating assets, not taking over the creative process. Human-led.
So across the board in this zone, it's either technically very hard or ethically problematic, or people just don't see the value compared to human skills. Yet resources are still flowing in.
It's quite the puzzle.
Okay, so taking all this in, the desires, the capabilities, the zones, let's talk broader implications. How is this shifting the value of skills in the job market?
This is a fascinating part of the study. They looked at U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics data alongside their findings to see which skills might become more or less valuable because of AI.
And they found some interesting patterns, didn't they?
They did. Skills that are currently high wage, but that AI is getting good at, think data analysis, process monitoring their value, might actually diminish.
Okay, so the things AI can automate well might become less valuable for humans to do. Makes sense. What's gaining importance then?
Skills like prioritizing and organizing work, training and teaching others, and effective communication. Essentially the human-centric skills.
So it's a shift away from just processing information.
Exactly. As Dee Yang, another author, put it, it suggests a shift from information processing skills to interpersonal skills. Demand might decline for pure data analysis, while skills needing human interaction, coordination, judgment those become more critical.
Because those are the things AI can't easily replicate.
Precisely. Empathy, complex problem solving in messy situations, ethical judgment, persuasion. These reinforce the idea of AI augmenting human work, freeing us up for the tasks that require these uniquely human abilities.
Which loops back perfectly to why worker preferences are so important. It's not just about what's technically possible.
Absolutely critical. As Yuzhi Shao, a PhD student on the project, noted, deployment is often driven by tech feasibility, but workers are the ones impacted, and the economy relies on them. Ignoring their perspective is risky.
Why is it so vital to include them?
Several reasons. Ethical adoption, making sure AI is fair. Building trust systems people accept are more effective. Uncovering opportunities workers often know the real pain points tech people might miss. And ultimately, guiding innovation towards things that genuinely benefit people. Human-centered design.
And the study itself kind of embodies that, using AI to analyze the data about human preferences.
Right, using AI as a tool to better understand human needs. But it's a moving target, isn't it? AI evolves so fast.
Definitely. This study is a snapshot, a crucial baseline. But things will change. Staying current is key for everyone.
For companies trying to implement AI effectively, and for workers figuring out how to collaborate with it.
So bringing it all together, if you're an entrepreneur or a business leader looking at this report, how should you interpret it? Just chase the green light zone.
It's more nuanced than that. First, remember the caveat. This survey reflects worker preferences, often tied to job security fears. Decision makers might have different priorities, like cost cutting.
So a red light for a worker might look like a green light for a manager thinking about efficiency savings.
Potentially, yes. Think about those customer service chatbots. Workers are wary, but businesses see huge cost savings. That's a critical distinction, and of course, the landscape is changing constantly.
Okay, with those caveats, what are the strategic takeaways for different zones?
Well, the green light zone is good for immediate opportunities addressing clear needs. But as we discussed, the real disruption might come from looking beyond the surface task, like fixing the root cause of scheduling problems, not just automating the scheduling itself.
Okay, dig deeper. What about R&D?
The R&D opportunity zone is prime territory for tech-focused ventures wanting to push the boundaries where demand is high but capability is low. Think medical imaging, personalized education, high potential for breakthroughs and funding.
And the controversial red light zone.
Don't dismiss it outright just because workers are hesitant. Decision makers might still see value, especially for efficiency, but you need careful market analysis, understanding the business drivers, not just worker sentiment. It's a calculated risk.
And the low priority zone seems like a definite avoid.
Mostly, yes. Caution is needed due to low desire and low capability. However, if you have true passion and a genuinely radical new approach, this zone, maybe counterintuitively, could be where massive disruption happens.
Really?
Perhaps because competition is lower. Solving a super difficult, initially unwanted problem could unlock immense, unforeseen value down the line. It might redefine what's possible and what becomes desired. Think big foundational shifts.
Fascinating. So even the low priority zone might hold hidden potential for the truly ambitious.
It's possible. Requires vision and probably a lot of persistence.
Wow. Okay, what a journey through this study. We've gone from worker fears and hopes through the 4 zones, the shifting skills, right up to potential entrepreneurial strategies.
It really paints a complex picture.
It does. And I think the core takeaway, the really critical lesson here, is that the future of AI isn't just about the tech getting smarter. It's fundamentally about people.
About human desire, trust, what we value, how we want to work together.
Exactly. It's about building AI that works with us, that complements our strengths, addresses our real needs, rather than just competing with us or doing things because it can.
Human-centered AI in practice.
Precisely. So as you, our listener, think about AI in your own world, maybe your job, your industry. What really stands out to you from this deep dive?
Yeah, are we collectively putting our energy, our investment into what's genuinely wanted and impactful?
Or are we sometimes getting caught up in the hype, building things just because the technology allows it, without asking if it's truly solving the right problems?
It's a crucial question to keep asking.
Keep asking, keep thinking critically, and keep exploring how AI is shaping and will continue to shape our world. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.